Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening to you, coming to you live from the National News Studios. Welcome to the news. My name is Clifford Richards.
And I'm Hishanani. Let's have a look at the headlines for tonight.
The CID ordered to arrest former IGP Deshabandhu Thenakone and produce before courts immediately. The writ petition dismissed. The President instructs the Ministry to develop infrastructure facilities in the tourism industry. Measures taken to conduct the ordinary level examination preventing destructions by national disasters. Accepting nominations for the local government polls commences. The Postmaster General says the trade union action of the junior staff is unfair. 21 injured in a bus accident at Arachikattur. 53 killed by US attacks against Houthi rebels in Yemen.
On to those and other stories in detail, and your top story for tonight is the Court of Appeal missed the writ petition filed by former Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Thenakone seeking an interim injunction to prevent the execution of the arrest order issued by the Mathura Magistrates Court.
Well, accordingly, the appeal court has ordered the CID to take immediate steps to arrest Deshabandhu Thenakone and also present him before the court. Well, the Mathura Magistrate Court had issued an order to arrest 6 suspects, including Deshabandhu Thenakone, on the 27th of last month. That's in connection with the shooting incident that took place in Waligama, Mathura in 2023. Thereby, Deshabandhu Thenakone filed a writ petition to the appeal court requesting an interim injunction order to prevent his arrest. The Court of Appeal bench, comprising Acting President of the Court of Appeal Mohammad Lafar Tahir and Justice Sarath Disanayake, considered the petition on the 12th of this month and announced the verdict this morning. The acting president of the Court of Appeal had stated in the verdict that the petitioner of this case is not a normal citizen of this country. He is the IGP and was entrusted with the ultimate responsibility of securing the rule of law. Such an accountable person cannot evade court orders. Police Department and the judiciary are 2 independent entities. Therefore, the petitioner is unable to act in a manner to violate public trust. The court feels that the petitioner has acted considering him as a person beyond the law. Such behavior lead to crack down on public trust on the law enforcement bodies. The court further says that the petitioner has made this request while acting as the IGP. As a law-abiding citizen, he should have first appeared before the Mathura Magistrate Court respecting the court order. If there is any problematic situation in the magistrate's order, he should have complained regarding this matter later to the courts. However, the petitioner did not follow the legal tradition. As an officer bound to secure the rule of law, he should have been the first obedient to the court orders. The IGP enforces the law on the general public even when a person commits a minor offence. Therefore, as the head of the police department, he cannot disregard the court order. In the verdict, it is further stated that if the senior officers violate the rule of law, there could be chances to erupt situations like struggles by collapsing the public trust on the rule of law. Accordingly, the petitioner has positioned the relevant officers of the CCD in wrongful manner and not entering any log regarding the mission and not informing the OIC of the relevant police station when sending CCD officials into an operation in the southern province. Moreover, the police team had obtained weapons including T-56 illegally and used them. A paramilitary team had been implemented under the petitioner and are also suspicious matters. In addition, without admitting the injured police sergeant to the nearest hospital, he was brought to the Imaduwa Expressway interchange, switching off the official mobile phones of all members of his police team and disrespecting the Mathura Magistrate Court order are the suspicious actions committed by the petitioner. Therefore, the appeal court further says that the petitioner has filed the writ petition by concealing many facts and also misleading the court. When considering all these matters, it is obvious that the warrant issued by the magistrate court is legal. The petitioner had stated that the magistrate has no jurisdiction to issue such an arrest warrant under the clause 1361 of the Criminal Procedure Code. The appeal court has stressed that this matter cannot be accepted. The appeal court further says that the magistrate has the jurisdiction to issue such a warrant under the Criminal Procedure Code. In summing up all these facts, the petitioner has come to the appeal court for relief, not to clean hands. And also, therefore, the petitioner cannot be granted with relief he has requested. Thereby, the appeal court subjected the petition to be a fee of 10,525 rupees and dismissed the petition. After the verdict, addressing the court, Additional Solicitor General Dilip Pere stated that the verdict is one of the historic cases recorded in the history of the judiciary in the country.
And in the meantime, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake emphasized the necessity of providing high-quality infrastructure and services for tourists visiting Sri Lanka, as the country has gained significant international recognition as an attractive tourist destination. Accordingly, the President instructed officials to pay special attention to this matter to take necessary action. President Dissanayake issued these instructions during a discussion held today at the Presidential Secretariat with officials from the Ministry of Tourism. During the discussion, officials briefed the President on the budgetary allocations designated for the Ministry of Tourism and the projects being implemented under those funds. With the tourism sector taking a new step forward, Sri Lanka aims to attract 3 million tourists this year. The discussion also extensively covered the utilization of these budgetary allocations for the development of essential infrastructure to support this goal. Minister Vijitha Herath, Deputy Minister Dr. Ruwan Ranasinghe, Secretary to the President Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumar Naika and several other officials were present on this occasion.
The GCE Ordinary Level Examination commenced today. The examination is being held at 3,663 examination centres island-wide this year. 474,147 students are appearing for the examination, and the number of school candidates is 398,182, while there are 75,965 private candidates. The exam will be held until the 26th of this month. According to the Commissioner General of Examinations, Amit Jayasundara, all arrangements are in place to face any eventuality due to any disaster situation during the conducting of the examination. Commissioner General of Examinations requested to call the hotline number 117 of the Disaster Management Centre. The team is ready to provide any necessary assistance under any circumstance. Along with this, filing of nominations for the forthcoming local government elections has also commenced. He also requested not to engage in any activity which will cause any inconvenience to students during the time of conducting the examination. Meanwhile, about 3,000 police officials have been engaged for security of examination centres, and the security during transportation of question papers will be provided by the police. According to reports, the examination is being held successfully in all areas of the island. Well, students of the School of the Blind in Ratmalana also participated in the examination. And also a group of young inmates of the open prison camp at Wataraka, Paduk are also appearing for the GCE examination. At Sunitha Vidyalaya, Wataraka Department of Prisons had provided necessary facilities for them.
And in the meantime, accepting nominations for the local government election commences this morning. It will end 12 noon on the 20th of this month, and Commissioner General of Elections Samant Sri Ratnayake says that the date of polls will be announced on the 20th of this month. Commissioner General of Elections Samant Sri Ratnayake said that accepting nominations will end at 12 noon on the 20th of this month. Placing deposits end at 12 noon on the 19th, and according to the Act, to hand over nomination papers, party secretary and the representative named by him are only allowed to enter the relevant offices. This is same to the independent groups, as well as organizing motorcades and processions are not allowed under the Election Act. The election is scheduled to be held within a period of 35 days to 42 days after end or receiving nominations. Signing the nomination papers of the NPP candidates was held at the headquarters of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna in Palawatta today. Secretary to the NPP Dr. Nihala Besinga said that the government has fulfilled many promises given by the NPP policy manifesto. Therefore, the government believes that people in the country will give a decisive mandate to the NPP again at the local government election. Secretary of the JVP Tilvan Silva said that the government will be able to record a huge victory at this polls. All the development programs implemented by the government will be continued. People will give their mandate to the teams fielded by the NPP. Thereby, it will be easier to carry out the government's development projects at village level.
පළාත් පාලන ආයතන සියල්ලම ආණ්ඩුව නැත්නම් ජාතික ජන බලවේගයේ ජයග්‍රහණය කරවීම අත්‍යවශ්‍ය වෙනවා අපිට අපි ආරම්භ කරපු සංවර්ධන වැඩ කටයුතු රට හදන වැඩ කටයුතු රටේ දුප්පත්කම තුරන් කිරීමේ කටයුතු සියල්ල බිම දක්වා කරගෙන යාමට.
Handing over of nominations of the SLPP for the Passara and Uva Paranagama Pradeshaya Sabhas were held at the Badulla District Secretariat today under the patronage of Parliamentarian Chamara Sampath Dasanayaka. MP Chamara Sampath Dasanayaka said that experienced and matured representatives should be elected to Pradeshia Sabhas. SLFP members are well experienced individuals. The SLFP and the other parties contest this election under the symbol of share. Placing of deposits of the UNP for the local government bodies in the Colombo district was held at the district secretariat in Colombo under the patronage of UNP National Organizer Sagala Ratnayaka. UNP National Organizer Sagala Ratnayaka said that the UNP contests all the local government institutions. The SJB has not yet officially united with the UNP. SLPP does not join with the UNP. However, members of many parties, including the SLFP, will contest in village areas with the UNP. The SJB placed the deposits for the local government bodies in the Ratnapura district today at the Ratnapura district secretariat. General Secretary of the SJB Ranjit Madhuma Bandara and several others were present at this occasion. Secretary of the SJB Ranjit Madhuma Bandara said that SJB will carry out the election campaign in a strong manner. It will contest all the local government bodies in the country. SLPP placed the deposits for the local government bodies in the Kurunegala district today under the patronage of former Minister Johnston Fernando. Former Minister Johnston Fernando said that any party contests the election with the aim of winning. The SLPP will field 35% of the new candidates to each Pradeshia Sabha. SLPP has also increased the youth and women's representation. Several parties placed their deposits for the local government institutions in the Batticaloa district. National People's Power, Sarvajana Balaya, Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, Ilankai Tamil Arsakachu are among them.
Day-to-day activities of post offices have been hampered. That's due to a strike carried out by the junior staff of the postal employees based on several demands. Well, according to our correspondents, distribution of letters and also sorting of letters and also opening of post bags had been hampered since morning today. Well, people who came to pay their fines and also to receive elderly allowance were inconvenienced due to the strike. Our correspondents further say that the senior postal officers were present for the duties at most of the post offices and they were seen accepting letters and parcels, issuing stamps and conducting other related duties. Postmaster General Ruan Satkumara expressed his views to the media regarding the strike. The PMG said that the discussions were held with the Minister and the Secretary of the Ministry along with trade unions yesterday in the capacity of Postmaster General. It is not proper to engage in a strike at this moment. The relevant sections were informed yesterday that discussions are on regarding recruitments. He said that certain answers have been provided from the government in this respect, and permission has been granted to carry out recruitments to a certain extent. Yesterday, talks were held with the minister, and the government's position is that discussions will be held in the coming week with the Secretary to the Prime Minister, and a decision will be arrived at, and it is requested that no trade union action to be taken until the decision is taken in this regard. Well, this is news from the national news station, and we take a short break and we'll be back with more local stories.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Welcome back to the news, and we have more local stories. Minister Hindu Sunil Senavi says that disregarding arts and culture has caused an increase in crimes and violence.
And moving on, he asserted that highest amount of grants have been allocated by this year's budget of the government in order to uplift arts, culture and religious progress. The debate on expenditure, head of Buddha Sasana Religious and Cultural Affairs Ministry and the Ministry of Environment, was held in the Parliament today. Minister Hindu Sunil Senavi said that crimes and violence of a high order is prevalent in this area due to the negligence of the arts and culture aspects. The trend of highlighting crimes in the media is also a result of these activities. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said,
මේ බලවත් නොතකා හැරීම නිසා ස්ථාවර නියෝග හදවතේ ස්ථාවර ලෙස සටහන් වූ ප්‍රජාවක් හදන්න තමයි මේ පුරවැසි අයවැය මේ සැරේ බරපතල වැය ශීර්ෂයක් ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තිබෙන්නේ. රටක් හැටියට ඉදිරියට යන්නට
adding that opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that if the country is to move forward, data-centric, science-oriented and information-based policies have to be formulated. He added that taking the advantage of rare animal species of this country, the environmental tourist industry can be expanded to a great extent, and thus much needed foreign exchange could be earned for the country. Minister Dr. Dhammika Patipandi said that an amount of 16,000 million rupees have been allocated by the budget for the Ministry of Environment. This can be regarded as the highest amount allocated for the Ministry of Environment, and the government is taking steps to bring in amendments to the Environment Act. Along with this, steps will also be taken to amend the Marine Pollution Act.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තවමත් පාර්ශවකරුවෙක් නොවේ. ඒ අන්තර්ජාතික සම්මුති ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුළ ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන නීතිමය ප්‍රතිපාදනත් ඊට අනුකූලව පනතේ සංශෝධන සිදු කිරීමටත් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. සමස්ත පාසල් පද්ධතිය
Deputy Minister Gamagedara Disanayaka said that although there are about 4 million students in the entire school system, only 1.8 million children are attending the Dhamma school. This describes the huge challenge faced. Minister Saroja Savitri Paulraj requested that a compulsory education of 13 years should be given to all children of the country and to consider all under the age of 18 years as children. It has to be pointed out that the education right of all children has to be safeguarded. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka pointed out that in order to change laws, if required, all parties should conduct discussions, but this has not been listened to. If any changes are to be carried out, it has to be done at present. In order to change any law, the government is ready to have discussions on them. He requested the general public with respect that these people should be rejected in an election. It is also requested to elect both male and female young persons from the Islamic community who are well educated and followers of religion.
General Secretary of the All Island Nurses Association, HMSB Madiwatta, says that they will not be participating in the health strike planned to be held tomorrow. Well, he points out that it is a matter of regret that certain persons are working for their political aims in this regard. General Secretary of the All Island Nurses Association, HMSB Madiwatta, says that they will not be participating in the strike tomorrow. And as the All Island Nurses Association, discussions have been held with the President and the Minister of Finance regarding this problem.
And moving on to more stories here at home, the Met Department says that intermittent rains and thunder showers may occur at several places in western, Sabaragamuwa, southern and northwestern provinces in Kandy district today. According to the communique of the Met Department, certain areas may experience rains more than 50 millimeters. Several rounds rains is expected in eastern and Uvo provinces and Polonnaruwa, Nuwara and Matale districts. The Met Department informs the public that necessary steps to be taken to minimize dangers from temporary strong winds and lightning along with thunder showers. Rains or thunder showers may occur in a few areas of sea across Trincomalee to Batticaloa up to Hambantota. Temporary strong winds might occur in certain sea areas around the island and sea may remain rough due to this reason, according to the Met Department.
Well, we have more local news items in brief. 21 were injured when an SLTB bus running from Nikavarattiya to Colombo veered off the road in Battuluo area in Arachikattua. The injured have been admitted to the Chilao and Mundalama hospitals. Our correspondent stated that the bus veered off the road and knocked against a tree and then hit a nearby shop and a house. A child in the house was also injured. An unidentified gang shot at a house at Pathagama in Midigama Matara this morning. The police said that the shooting has been done by a pistol. A police constable of the CID who was arrested in India was produced before Colombo High Courts today. The suspect was taken into custody under the charge of abetting the drug kingpin Nadun Chintaka Vikramaratna alias Harakkata. The suspect was handed over with the indictments and the case will be summoned on the 4th of April. The suspect arrested over the incident where it occurred at the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital was produced before courts today for an identification parade. However, the relevant female doctor did not appear before court and the suspect was ordered to be remanded until the 24th of this month. Meanwhile, the sister of the suspect and her husband, who have been remanded with regard to the theft of a mobile phone, was also produced before court today and they accepted the offence and the Chief Magistrate of the Anuradhapura released them on personal bail. An Indian couple who was brought about 3 kilos of Kush narcotics from Bangkok were taken into custody at the airport's custom officials. According to custom sources, the stock was concealed in 2 bags and the street value is 25 million rupees.
Moving on, funeral of the former senior officer of the Inland Revenue Department, late Kusum Silva, was held at Borala General Cemetery this evening with the participation of many crowds representing various sectors. President Anwar Kumar Dissanayake also paid respects to late Kusum Silva at a private funeral parlour in Borala this morning. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amrisurya and many other public representatives were also paid last respects to her remains. Late Kusum Silva has served in the Inland Revenue Department a period of nearly 40 years. She is also the mother of SLRC Chairman Guilherme de Silva, and a large crowd including media sector and public officials were present at the funeral.
Well, that's news at home. We take a short break and we'll be back with international stories. news, and we are moving on to news overseas. Houthi leader Abdul Malik al-Houthi says that his militants would target US ships in the Red Sea as long as the US continues its attacks on Yemen.
And updating an earlier death toll, Houthi Health Minister spokesperson Anil Al-Azabi on X said that 53 people have been killed, including 5 children and 2 women, and that 98 people have been wounded. U.S. National Security Advisor Michael Waltz told foreign media that Saturday's strikes targeted multiple Houthi leaders and was able to compromise them. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth vowed an unrelenting missile campaign until the Houthi attacks stop. The Houthis said that it would continue to target Red Sea shipping until Israel lifted its blockade of Gaza and that its forces would respond to the strikes. The Iranian-backed rebel group, which considered Israel its enemy, controls Sana'a and the northwest of Yemen, but it is not the country's internationally recognized government. The Houthis have said that they are acting in support of the Palestinians in the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza and have claimed, often falsely, that they are targeting ships only linked to Israel, the US or the UK. For 2023, the Houthis have targeted dozens of merchant vessels with missiles, drones and small boat attacks in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. They have sunk 2 vessels, seized a third and killed 4 crew members. Welcome back and on to sports news for tonight. The Kandy team was able to win the championship of a division of the rugby tournament in the Interclub League Rugby Tournament unbeaten.
Well, and the match between the Kandy and the Havelock team was played at Nithawala grounds yesterday. The match between Kandy and Havelocks was played as the finals of the League Rugby Tournament of this year. Kandy players were able to affirm a league championship when they were entering the game. In the meantime, it has been a unique feature that this match has been the final league game of the prominent player Nigel Rathpath of the Kandy team. Kandy players who were in the forefront of the game from the start scored 31 points in the first half. The opponent, Havelock team, was able to score only 10. At the end of the stipulated time, the points table read 50-24 and Kandy won the match.
And on to Masters League. India has been able to become champions of the International Masters League's T20 cricket tournament, and they outplayed the West Indies team in the final match, defeating them by 6 wickets. The match was played in Raipur, India. Batting first, the West Indies Masters scored 148 runs for 7 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Lendl Simmons scored 57 runs while the Dwayne Smith scored 45. In bowling for India, Vinay Kumar captured 3 wickets. In reply, India won the match by scoring 149 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in 17.1 overs. Ambati Rayudu scored 74 and captain Sachin Tendulkar scored 25 runs.
Well, Masters still in great form. On that note, we end the news. Do enjoy the rest of the programs together with Hesha. This is Clifford wishing you a good night.